Hello everyone. Welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 16 to 2023. Now in this, if we look at the first one, expedite work on increasing pension. Government tells EPFO. See guys, people who are getting higher salaries once they retire should get higher pensions. And they have got the order from Supreme Court to consider these. Because of this, now we are observing that many pension funds have taken up a call to ensure that the pension is increased. So this is what they are trying to tell. Yes, there is a lot of news every year about the pension space. So please don't take it seriously from exam point of view. Maximum if you want to study EPFO when it was established, these type of things. But technicalities don't enter into. They won't ask you questions on how EPFO functions, right? Eye on China, cabinet clears 7 ITBP battalions. Fine. Here, let us say China looks at this newspaper. The moment China looks at the newspaper, it feels like, okay, they are doing only because of China. So, newspapers, they try to create an opinion that, okay, government is doing it because of these. This is where the problem comes. Newspapers don't give information, they give their opinions. So, if Hindu newspaper gives its opinion, it is equally right of other newspapers, other people also to give. So I'm just trying to tell you there is a concept called role of media and social media in internal security issues. In this, during 26/11, guys, when the Pakistan was trying to attack, right? Here, what is happening? Who will tell to Pakistan? So the terrorists were constantly talking with Pakistan, whereas the media here was showing each and every information. Now, that also we can say as like right to inform. It was giving live coverage. Like they were giving plan. How is the Taj Hotel? From where military is coming, from where terrorists are coming. They don't know where terrorists are hiding. So wherever military was present in that particular area, terrorists were diverted, which led to killing of many people. So this is where the media role should be cautiously studied. You are going to be an officer. As soon as you read the newspapers, you should be aware that these are also propaganda materials and you are going to pick only those lines which are important. Guys, the intention of us is not only to help you to become an IAS officer, but also to become an efficient officer. And if you want to score within 50 ranks, the way you communicate in interview is very, very important. The way you are going to put your ideas is very, very important. You should give facts without showing them as your opinions. So, in this specific issue, I'm just trying to tell newspaper could have given India is planning for 7 ITBP battalions. So your answers must be like that. UPSC will ask you, like because of China, India is closer to US. Is this true? It is no. Our interest with US is different from our interest with China. So the language must be clear. Fine. So now when you look at this particular issue, guys, ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. See guys, we have a topic called as security agencies and their mandate in internal security. According to that, we need to know which are all the different security agencies that are present. For example, with Pakistan and Bangladesh, we have BSF. Nepal and Bhutan, we have Sashastra Seema Bal. With China, it is Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Why different names? For example, when you look at SSB, Sashastra Seema Bal, it guards Nepal and Bhutan. Now, Nepal and Bhutan are friendly countries to India, and we do not have any threat from Nepal, or we do not have threat from Bhutan. But illegal activities occur like fake currency, movement of goods without paying taxes. These type of things happen more. So what is important near China, near Bhutan, near Nepal, is to search, search very, very effectively where which goods are there, which materials are there. We need to search. So Sashastra Seema Bal is trained in searching. When it comes to India, let's say ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Now India-China border is mountainous border. So climbing the mountains, one, and it is snow cover when it comes to Ladakh region. Heavy rainfall when it comes to Arunachal Pradesh region. Forest in Arunachal Pradesh, desert in Ladakh. Climates will be completely different. So it is very, very important for us to ensure that we are taking right measures. Fine. I hope you understand the entire aspect here, guys. ITBP is trained to fight in the mountains, to fight in the snow, to fight in the forest. Whereas SSB is trained for different thing. BSF is trained for hunting down terrorists. When terrorists come, enter into the country illegally, how to catch them. That is BSF role. So like this, we have different roles, and now Indian government is increasing it from 88,000 to 97,000 strength wise. So we are recruiting 11,000 more almost. IT survey at BBC offices enter second day. So guys, what government is doing, is it right or wrong? We have two things here. First, BBC made a report on Modi 20 years to defame him, right? And everyone said BBC has the right to show what has happened, so you can't blame BBC. Fine. Now, government also has a right to check whether organizations are paying tax on time and whether these organizations are doing any tax evasion. Government is also doing its work. Now the second question, why is government acting only against BBC? You see, there are so many dictators in the world. There is no report by BBC on what is happening in Uyghur Muslim region. There is no report on what is happening in Hong Kong. There is no report on what is happening in, like, countries like Saudi Arabia. Why only Modi? Because elections are about to come, right? And Chinese involvement may be there, so they're trying to check that angle. So, third question, people are asking, let us say BBC is funded by China. Isn't it have the right to give its own information? Then comes the argument, many developed countries have understood that during elections, other countries try to interfere. Yes, when Sri Lanka elections were going on, there was lot of interference by China to create an opinion and make their political party win so that China can get all the contracts. This is how East India Company also tried to interfere in the internal politics of India and try to rule us at one point of time. So, external forces play a very important role in destabilizing democracies. Please understand this. This is a history. This has happened against Indira Gandhi, US and Western countries. They tried their level best because she was very strong and closer to USSR. Now, the target is not only on the prime minister but also on the country. When you say, India is fifth largest, surpassing UK, there will be few elements which will not be happy. Remember, guys, it's not about Modi, it's not about Rahul Gandhi. Tomorrow, Rahul Gandhi may become prime minister, he may become very powerful. At that time, anything can happen against him. So, what we need to protect is the country. So, when we look at the country, the first most important thing is, if any internal media, let's say Indian media funded by Indians, if they are involved in such activities, yes, you are trying to, cut down the voices. But international media, you should be very, very careful. They operate on propagandas. Russia had interfered in elections of US. Russia leaked certain information at the right time to defeat Hillary Clinton and bring Trump. Trump won because of Russian support. And later, after he won, he also became closer to Russia. There were lot of evidences against this. And the same, Hindu newspaper has criticized it. So here comes interference. We are talking mostly about the interference. BBC, if it had produced this issue at that point of time, things would have been different. So, what I'm trying to tell you here, the role of media can be asked again and again, guys. So, please understand, when you talk about role of media, it has two things. One, it will play internally, it will play externally as well. So internally when it plays, it will try to give crucial information about what is happening to external sources, like the way happened in 2611. And external media houses, when they enter into the country, they try to destabilize the governments or try to influence the governments. This would lead to problems. So When you try to write about role of media, try to include the point about two things. Internal media giving information to external. Second, external media try to destabilizing and creating trouble within the country. These two are very, very important. So guys, next we have editorial. And in the editorial today, we have a very good article, guys. It is about antimicrobial resistance. It's really a very good article. Let me explain about this a bit. See guys, now there are a lot of microbial organisms, virus, bacteria and all, correct? So let's say you have microbial or microbes are present. Now when you have microbes, what is going to happen? You get diseases. Now when you get diseases, you will take medicine. Let's say there are 100 microbes in the body and you give medicine. 98 will die. Fine, 98 will die. 2 will not die. And this will get resistance. So yes, the medicine is against the microbe, so it's called antimicrobial. Correct? 98 will die, 2 will not die, which will lead to getting resistance. Now, this two species got resistance to medicine called as antimicrobial resistance. Fine. So now these two will multiply. These two will multiply, and let us say I have two microbes which are very strong. Now these two microbes enter into another person. It entered into another person. Now what is going to happen? He will have disease. What will you do? You will give antimicrobial medicine, correct? You'll give the medicine. But that medicine will not work on the two microbes. It will not work. Why? The microbes are antimicrobial resistance. So even if you take medicine for 1 week, it won't go. Then what you will do? This will multiply and become 200 guys. Find the two microbes will multiply and it will become 200. Fine. 1 week time it became 200. Now I have 200. So now what I'll do? I'll put or I'll give new anti-microbial medicine. In this, what happened? Let's say everything died, but three remained. Now, these three are antimicrobial resistant for the new medicine. So, like this, if you take, right, the microbes are becoming antimicrobial resistance to most of the microbes. Sorry, to most of the medicines. Now, what I'm trying to ask you is, if you try to take medicines continuously, your body will not have the immunity to fight. And if your body do not generate immunity to fight, and at the same time, if these microbes develop more and more resistance in future, when diseases come, so let's say i have I have 5 medicines, and for all the 5 medicines there is antimicrobial resistance developed. For all the 5 medicines, antimicrobial resistance is developed. So now you tell me what is going to happen in future. If I get a disease, I don't have a medicine, so my medicines will not work. So this is the fear factor. In When I consider, like, western countries, European countries and all, for animals, guys, especially US, Australia, South America and all, for animals they give lot of medicines so that the animals can grow larger without any diseases. Fine. Now in these animals, antimicrobial resistance is increasing. Antimicrobial resistance is increasing, because of which we do not have good amount of medicines to fight. This is the problem that we are observing. Please understand, this is very, very important for us. Please write down. You can write heading as health issues, antimicrobial resistance, antimicrobial resistance, AMR, is one of the major problem, is one of the major problem the world is facing after COVID. The world is facing after COVID. Full stop. Recently, in Muscat, in Muscat, 30 countries, 30 countries adopted manifesto on manifesto on Muscat ministerial, sorry, manifesto on antimicrobial resistance. Below this, you write, it required political commitments. It required political commitments in the implementation of in the implementation of One health action, one health action for controlling the spread of, for controlling the spread of AMR, AMR. It also recognized, it also recognized the need to address, the need to address the impact of AMR, the impact of AMR not only on humans but on environmental health, but on environmental health, food security, and economic growth and development. And economic growth and development. Next, the targets were, the targets were, yes, this can be asked in prelims as well. Reduce the total amount of, reduce the total amount of antimicrobials used in, used in agri-food system by 30 to 50%, by 30 to 50% by 2030, by 2030. Second, eliminate use in animals, eliminate use in animals and food production of antimicrobials that are medically important, that are medically important for human health. Third, by 2030, by 2030, at least, at least 60% of overall antibiotic consumption should be from access group of antibiotics. Guys, they can ask you these things anytime, guys. And please read about this global antimicrobial resistance and use surveillance system. Global antimicrobial resistance and use surveillance system. Yeah. So guys, here the one article is about why is the government doing tax rates beyond limits? Why are you delimiting Jammu Kashmir? And he is also asking that give back Article 370 indirectly. And guys, in this article they are trying to say Giving governor post to the judges is a corruption. Like, you are indirectly telling them that if you do favor to me, you will also get like this. So that's what they want to tell. Indigenous carrier Vikrant will be operational by year end, Navy Chief. So, guys, we are trying to purchase as many things as possible and deploy more things, indicating that India is moving ahead when it comes to what do you call as defense. So, these are all defense names that are important. Domestic industry gets 75% defense capital outlay. This is the biggest news, guys. This is the biggest news. What is it? See, Indian government is spending some 1 lakh 40,000, 1 lakh 50,000 crores, out of which 75% we are using to purchase within the country. Earlier, majority of the money that India wants to purchase use it to go outside. But today, we are able to spend within the country, which is a very big thing, right? Which is a very, very big thing. So, this is where the aspect is very, very important for us, right? That is why Atmanirbhar, Make in India is important is 1 lakh crore rather than sending outside, if you can spend within the country, that gives you lots of benefits, right? Our money will be within the country and it will help our economy to develop. HAL to provide maintenance and overhaul support for MQ-9B drone engines in India. See, guys, we have MQ-9B Guardian, high altitude, long endurance. That means it can fly for long. For those type of things, engines are being provided by HAL. See, guys, most of the drones do not have the capacity to fly for long. But HAL is trying to produce, right, along with Germany based group and with other companies, some of the engines. In one such measure, they are going for drone engines as well. Protest calendar for 2023-24 ready to press for statehood. As many people believe, why shouldn't we give union territory or statehood to Ladakh easily? Why are we not giving? If we give to one, there are many people in Northeast India which are demanding. There are many in different parts which will be demanding. Why state reorganization doesn't take place so easily? Like, Telangana was made, okay, fine, let us make other states as well. No, it will take time. It will take its own time. We should be really careful when it comes to these, because one state, if you start giving, then others will also ask for the same. Yes, this year there can be question on 6th schedule, so try to study about 6th schedule properly. High Court questions use of POXO Act in Assam. It is not yet questioned, like, we have to wait. Governor should not enter political arena. Kashmir's market down shutters. Today elections are going on in Tripura. Congress flays BJP. VPC is designed to run down India's growth story. Supreme Court to hear Congress leaders' plea. Jairam urges RBI SEBI to probe allegations against Adani Group. See, this is not wrong. So when opposition is asking RBI SEBI to probe into allegations, it's not at all wrong. You should support. India Bangladesh has told each other that let us support in UNSC non-permanent membership. So India and Bangladesh are coming closer to vote for each other. Uttarakhand firms up Joshimath relief plan. So, guys, the government is trying to give relief on some technical basis. Israel group running fake campaigns in India, other nations. See, in the same newspaper, they're telling that there is an Israel group which is trying to run fake news in India and many other parts of the world. The same thing can be associated with BBC as well. Why can we say BBC is also not doing that? This is where the problem comes. BJP may say Israel is correct, Congress may say BBC is correct, right? So, what is going to happen tomorrow when BJP is in opposition? They may use these groups to fund. So, this is where the problem comes. If you allow others to take control of you, obviously you will have your own issues coming up. Now, you see, Rana, Ayub, and all, whenever anything happens, they go to international community, they try to create scene there. See, she got notices from Supreme Court and all. Now, Supreme Court has also told let the IT department look into her case. She has gone to different international center of jurists, journalists, and all, and there she is telling that Modi is against the people, whoever is against him. Journalists do not have voice in India. She is trying to create pressure on Indian government by taking the issue. Now, why shouldn't the Indian government respond and act against her? So here comes the problem. If you are correct, if you have not done any mistake, why are you scared to show your IT returns? Why are you scared to show your documents? This is where the actual problem in the country lies. So whether it is BJP, Congress, or anyone, IAS officers like you must have a neutral answer where you should not allow anyone to interfere. China must take a haircut on its loans to poor countries, says India's G20 Sherpa. So, yes, China, whenever it gives any debt, it is leading to a lot of problems because the countries are not in a position to repay back. When they are not in a position to repay back, they have to pay a lot of money, right? Or they may have to give a port, airport, or something, which is becoming a big problem for us. So, this is where India is trying to say, right? This is where India is trying to say, you should tell properly what is the loan amount, how much they have to pay. If they don't pay, what will you do? All these things. So, guys, okay, what is the meaning of haircut on its loans? Yes, haircut on its loans basically means when a country, okay, let me explain this way. Guys. In Indian term, what we used to say, so let us say there is a property of 50 crores. Fine. Now, a bank has given a loan, fine, of 48 crores. Now, the person is not able to pay the money. So, what happened? Interest got accumulated and he has to pay 55 crores. But bank has a property only of 50 crores. Bank do not have 55 crores. Now, the person who took the loan, he will give 50 crore property to bank. but he doesn't have 5 crore. Now, if banks start asking him to give this 5 crore, right? If bank start asking this person to give 5 crore, give me my 5 crore back, then this person has to take loan again, which he will not be in a position to pay back. So what will happen? He will become indebted forever. So in India, we introduced a concept called as haircut in the loans. According to this, when you get a 50 crore property and this 5 crore is interest or something, so then reduce this 5 crore for this person. So this is called haircut, right? We are not cutting the head. That means we are not saying don't pay 50 crores. If you say don't pay 50 crores, then bank will be in loss. So we are just going for haircut reduction. That means very little reduction so that there is scope for the countries to recover. Fine. Economic terms are important, guys. Between BBC, Boeing, and Airbus, Modi sets rules of the game with the West. Now you see they are trying to connect Boeing and Airbus with BBC rights issue. Like here India, US, India, France, India, UK are happy that Tata is purchasing Airbus. Now, till now, they were telling that Adani was used to leverage, that means to get benefits. Now, this article is trying to say that Modi is trying to use Tatas to purchase Airbus so that US, UK, and France will not speak anything against India raiding BBC. Why will someone question India when India is trying to check tax compliance of a company? US may check Indian companies' tax compliance. What's wrong in that? If someone comes to your office and check your files, and if you make it an issue out of it, it's wrong. Others are scared because their offices might also be raided tomorrow. That's why they are coming in support. Else others should tell, why don't you come out clean? When everyone is arguing that why Adani should not come out clean. The same way BBC also should come out clean. So linking this type of answers I can observe in students' answers, guys. Students also try to write like this. That's the worst part, right? So we should be very careful with respect to these. See, they're talking about Hindutva strategic doctrine. Please don't mention these type of words in your answers. There is nothing called in Hindutva foreign policy of India. Please don't bring such arguments in your answers, guys. Just be really careful while reading the newspaper and collecting points. Thank you, guys.